Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're actually jumping into some basic grooming tips for men. Um, I was recently watching some stuff and talking with some friends and family, watching some video content that kind of dived into the subject. And I realized that a lot of people don't realize about getting into the basics of things. And some of the stuff that I was watching started getting into more advanced level stuff. But then I realized a lot of people don't even know sometimes the basics. And so I wanted to kind of really tackle on some of the basics when it comes to male grooming that you should get into, and maybe some products that you should buy. Um, and I will throw some links in the description to some of the categories of products that I'm talking about, just to use for example, with some affiliated links on Amazon. Not particularly, I'm not going to display any kind of particular brands into the video, but just to get you guys in that direction so you kind of know, okay, what you're going to jump into in regards to that. So getting started, the first thing I just want to jump into, and these are just going to be some basic things, so nothing over the top. And I'm doing it on a basic level because, like I said, there are some video contents that show out there these extreme things like, oh, buy this product, it's so advanced, this whole skincare treatment, this and that. And I'm not knocking that. You see a whole bunch of videos, man positivity videos, or pro man type of videos where it's always talking about things like Teach Hanley and all these kind of skin products and getting into this because they're being sponsored. And I get that. I'm not knocking any of that at all. I'm saying if you are able to go to that level and you want to go that level or whatever the case is, 100% go to that level if you feel like it. But this is for your average guy who wants to make themselves look and feel a little bit better without either breaking the bank or without doing all this research, going deep online to try to figure out like things and do this kind of crazy research about what's better, what's not. This is going to be some basic stuff that you can do and buy that's basic, but makes it easy for you and very comfortable. And most of these things that I'm going to mention are things that I do for my personal grooming. And like I said, it's never a knock on anybody. I like to present to you guys this basic, regular man's, average man's level of doing things. And you can clearly go up to the next level if you're ready to go up to that next level. So, one of the things I want to start off with is your soap. I would say this, have two types of soap. Have one that smells good, like a deodorizing soap, maybe something like an Irish Springs kind of deodorant type of soap, or any other type that you can think of that has a nice, pleasant scent to it. That also maybe helps to prevent you from sweating a little bit, but just smells really good. And then have a softer soap for your face, something like Dove, something that's not very harsh that you will clean your face with. Don't use both soaps for your face because I find that some soaps are a lot more, some soaps, they're not, nothing's wrong with them, but there are other soaps that are more softer for your face, a little more gentle on your face, and they really, I feel, allow you to be, allow you to just kind of really, not be so harsh on your face. Like I just definitely think it makes your face feel smoother after you wash your face with a more gentler soap. Like I said, I've used Dove before. It's nice. It makes your face feel smooth. It's not as harsh as other soaps. And I feel like soaps that are made for your body are just different than your face because your skin on your face is different than the skin on your body. It definitely should be. So if it's not, then that means that you're doing something wrong because your skin on your face should always be a lot more smoother than the skin on your body, which is going to be a lot more rougher because obviously your body is always touching things, which obviously like your fingers and stuff obviously is different types of skin. And just, the fact that it's going to be more rough than your skin. You always want your face skin to be smooth. So with that being said, I definitely recommend you guys get two types of soap. In addition to that, if someone is not really into necessarily, buying shaving cream, this and that when you shave, I also like this. I like to use like my facial soap. I use it as a shaving cream. You can do that. If you're one of those people who breaks out and bumps all the time, this and that, and you need a special product, then go for that. But if you don't, and that's not you, you don't need that. I use that. I just put some soap on my face just so your face feels smooth. You take the razor blade and you shave. It's not a problem. So it doubles as that as well if you have a nice, smooth, like soft kind of soap. Next, next is facial hydration. Since we're already getting into the whole thing about, washing your face and cleaning your face with soap or whatever. Hydrating your face. Now, I'm simple. I keep it basic. A lot of people may want to go over the top, like I said, with this full facial package, and you can do that. I'm not knocking it. Me, I say go with some type of petroleum jelly, some type of Vaseline. They have different types that have cocoa butter in them. Some of them have different types of aloe in them, this and that. I've always found that petroleum jelly, or I'm just going to call it Vaseline because I'm just used to the brand naming, and most of us are. It holds moisture in a lot more and a lot longer. If you think that, or if you don't know that that's the case, put a dab of lotion on your arm while you're at home one day. Let it sit for like 10 minutes, then like maybe scratch your arm a little bit in that same space. It might end up getting like ashy or whatever the case is. Do the same on your arm where you put Vaseline, and you're gonna see it still has that lubricated feel because it's thicker. Some people say, oh, it makes your face look shiny or whatever the case is, but I can tell you it does wonders over the years to make your face feel smooth and hydrated, and keeping the moisture inside your face without you breaking the bank and doing something crazy and getting some crazy over like over the counter product that costs a whole bunch of money. These kind of facial creams that are probably like 20, 30, $40. You can get like a pack of like Vaseline, maybe even on Amazon, and I'll put links in the description, but like three or four of them in one, and you can use them for multiple things. You know what I mean? Like you have like kids. I know for me, when I had my kids were newborns, I used it for things like diaper rash, whatever the case is, things of that sort. So these are the kind of things that you can use in multiple ways around the house. Same as I mentioned with the soap, where you're using it for your shaving cream, for your shaving as well as cleaning your face. So sometimes you could use these things for multiple things, and you do a great job, because at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to always say to you is this: a lot of times you have a lot of these companies that have, and I'm not knocking any company, but we all know there's all these companies that have this agenda to push their products because they want to make money. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times your basic remedies that you grew up with years ago, if you just use them, stuff that you always knew from a little kid, the basic stuff will get the job done just as fine, as long as you just keep applying it and doing it as a daily routine. It's fine. So my suggestion is Vaseline. You can use lotion, you can use other stuff, but to me, I feel that lotion doesn't really keep you hydrated as long. But whatever it is, like I said, this is about basic grooming, and I'm just giving some tips on what I think is a good common base without breaking the bank, just a common item. But use whatever you feel you think works for you. Next is brushing your hair. Obviously, brush your hair every day. I know it might seem weird, but some people legit do not brush their hair every single day. Brush your hair every single day. Now, sometimes depending on if you get up in the morning, um, your hair might be hard to like sit straight, even though when you brush it, it doesn't lay flat. Whatever your texture of hair is, whether you're black, whether you're white, whatever the case is, sometimes it doesn't sit the way you want it to sit. But then sometimes too, you don't want to use products to make it sit the way you want it to sit when you brush it. Sometimes when people come out the shower and they wet their hair, it stays a little more flat. So when you brush it, it maintains, because now it dries in that more flattened position of however you brushed it. If you brushed it straight, like I said, whether you're black, whether you're white, whatever texture your hair is, if you brushed it straight, then usually you have to come in the shower, it stays that way. The problem is this, that a lot of people don't realize, and I actually learned this the hard way, is that you actually should not be washing your hair every day. Just because you get in the shower doesn't mean you should be washing your hair every day, because you have natural oils on your scalp that are there for its benefit. And so you can't just wash your hair every single day. So with that being said, one, do not wash your hair every day. But then in two, if you need something to kind of like, maintain it from being too frizzy, whatever the case is, you could also use things like Vaseline, which you would already been using for your face to keep it moisturized. But definitely brush your hair every single day, and make sure that you're on point with that. Also, own a pair of clippers. Own a pair of clippers. Even if you're the type who likes to go to the barber, still own a pair of clippers for yourself, just in case. Learn how to do that. Learn that skill. I say that because there might be moments where you can't do that. One, if you can, and you're the type of person who just give yourself a low Caesar or a low cut, um, then fine, even better. Have a mirror system where you're able to, like, maybe you're looking at the bathroom mirror and you got like a hand mirror in your hand, you're able to get behind your head and you're able to work it. Cool. Maybe you never have to have that expense of going to the barber ever again, which is very expensive nowadays. Especially it adds up if you go every 2 weeks, and you're spending like $20 or more on a haircut. After tip and everything else is said, you're spending like $20 or more every 2 weeks. That adds up. So with that being said, I know some people who are into this lifestyle of just high grooming and high everything, and and all that stuff. I get that. If you're one of those people, then this is not for you. You're one of those people who you spend probably like somewhere between like $500 a month in your grooming, just because you want to be the man. You're out there and you're doing your thing. All more power to you. But for the basic average guy who has so much other stuff going on, they don't have a lot of money, and they're like, I got all these other responsibilities, these other bills, this and that. Sometimes you can break things down to a more basic level that works for you, and it doesn't break the bank. It doesn't change your routine at all. You're still in the comfort of your same routine with just some small minor tweaks. So buy a set of hair clippers. Get used to doing that, so that way, even if you don't do it, but if there's ever a time that you need to and it's on a fly, you can't, you need maybe a haircut, you could do that. In addition, I would say get yourself, whether it's a straight razor, whether it's, and the straight razor is like one of those kind of knives that they used to do like in those old movies, whatever, and they, shave someone's face, whatever the case is. Get one of those, or even just one of your basic like shaving razors, and shave up your own line with that as well. This is very good too. With your regular clippers, you can also manage your beard too, but sometimes people might get a smaller trimmer for these kind of things too. These are all little things that you can get. I'm going to put links in the description. And essentially, um, you want to taper up your hairline as well. Sometimes people don't realize that in the middle of the week, you haven't got a haircut in a little while. You might think, oh, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It looks nice. It really doesn't take a lot of work. You can take a regular razor, regular shaving razor that you would like a Mach 3 or something like that. And you can just go over your hair real quick and it's all good. And it still makes it look better than if you just left it the way it was. So that's a little tip to just throw in there. Take that little care when it comes to that. Next comes to teeth. Obviously, always brush your teeth, but realize little things too that we sometimes don't get into. Floss every single day. I know a lot of us don't want to do it. Um, we think that we don't have to do it. I'm going to be honest with you. For years, I used to not floss. I never had a cavity ever in my life. I still don't have a cavity, and I am past the 40 point in age. I never had a cavity, but still, you should floss. And I floss now all the time. But I say that to say, and I don't mind throwing it out there, throwing the business out there, because I just want you to know and learn that just because you could be doing well and have no problems, still do it. Because in the long run, you're trying to preserve yourself for the long run. So floss all the time. Get a electronic toothbrush because they say that that's better. And so if the dentists say it's better, get it. They're not that expensive. I'll throw some links in the description for different types. Um, that is something that is very good. We're actually approaching, the holiday shopping season right now. So maybe you can find something that really works for you in that regard. And yeah, make sure you have that and have a regular toothbrush, because the regular toothbrush, I will say, is probably better for brushing your tongue and brushing certain things. But the electric toothbrush, they say, is better for really just kind of polishing your teeth and really cleaning your teeth a lot better than your average conventional toothbrush. So that's something that you could do. And once you have that, they have easy, affordable replacement heads online. You get third party types that may not be the official brand ones, but they still do a good job. So that's something to always stay on point with. Make sure you brush your tongue as well. And another thing too is when it comes to the whole mouth care. If you're the kind of person who, we all know ourselves. If you're the kind of person who you usually sometimes have bad breath, regardless that you brush your teeth in the morning, you get outside, you end up having bad breath. If you don't know you have bad breath, most of the people should know they have bad breath or not. But if you don't know, ask one of your close friends. Be like, listen, I'm just being straight up. I don't, not to be funny, this and that, but can you tell me if it smells like I have bad breath, whatever? Because if you do, hydrating your mouth helps with bad breath. So some people don't drink enough water and they don't stay hydrated. So stay hydrated. And when you do drink water, if you haven't drunk water in a little bit and your mouth's dry, gargle some of the water around your mouth before you swallow the water. Some people might find that disgusting. Nonetheless, it helps hydrate your entire mouth. Um, In addition to that, chewing gum doesn't make your breath smell good because it's minty fresh. And that's what a lot of people used to think back in the days. I used to think that back in the days. The truth is that it's because you chewing the gum gets your saliva going, which hydrates your mouth. So like I said, whether it's chewing gum or drinking a lot of water, it will help you to have better smelling breath. And you won't be one of those people who is offensive when you enter a room or you're talking to somebody close. Um, and last on this little grooming tips list, which sorry that it's gotten very long, but is some type of fragrance. get a kind of cologne. Some people get lazy with that, and I get it. I used to be that kind of person too, where I didn't want to do it, and then later on, if I was in a relationship and I wasn't doing it before, it might seem like, well, why are you doing it now? And some people put into your head like, does that mean you're trying to be a certain way? First off, if you're around anyone who's like that, get rid of them, because anyone who has a problem with you accelerating yourself is somebody who is going to only wish for your downfall at some point down the line. But then two, get yourself some kind of from some kind of cologne, some kind of fragrance. Let it be your own. I've mentioned this before in past videos. All it does is boost you and benefit you. It doesn't have to be expensive. You have some that you can find online on Amazon. I'm going to post some links in the description of a couple of suggestions, but essentially you can have something that costs you $20 or less, and it literally will last you probably a full year for that $20 you spent, which is a great investment to know that you got that much out of something that only cost you, that little. And you definitely want to do this because, like I said, these little grooming tips go a long way. All the things I just mentioned, they go a very, very long way, and they really don't cost you almost anything at all. So please and definitely take the time to look at all these kind of things, invest in them. Like I said, I'm going to throw some links in the description that you can, kind of take a little tackle at, but definitely, um, do what you can in terms of improving these things because they go a very long way. And if you don't believe me, if you have any female friend of yours or maybe a female family member, ask them, do these little things, go down the list of things I just mentioned in this video and ask, do these things matter and how much do they matter? I guarantee you a woman will tell you they matter a big deal. So knowing that you don't have to be the most expert on it, you don't have to be the guy who, has this full facial product skincare routine. You don't have to be the person who goes to the barber every single week. You don't have to be the person who, has this super advanced teeth treatment and the super advanced, all this kind of stuff. But these little basic things that you can tweak to be a little bit better will go a long way. All right. With that being said, you guys put your comments down below. Any suggestions you guys have for any type of things, any kind of products you want to suggest to the rest of the viewers, and yeah, put it down what it is that you guys do. Because like I said, we can all share because that's the whole point of this is us being a community where we share our information and share our advice and share our tips for the well-being of all of us. And if you're a female and you have tips that you want to put in for maybe other females that may view the channel, if they do, post that down there too as well. Some of your grooming tips and whatnot. But with that being said, you guys take care, be safe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.